Harrier is one of the best fighter jets ever. My justification for including the Sea Harrier on a top 5 list years back, to the exclusion of the F-4 Phantom and the Sukhoi Su-27 Flanker, was the plane's incredible 23:0 air-to-air kill ratio in the hands of Britain's Fleet Air Arm against Argentine Air Force opponents during the 1982 Falklands War, thus playing a key role in the UK's ultimate victory. In the past, I have stated that the Sea Harrier is one of the best fighter planes of all time. I stand by that choice, and let me explain why. My justification for including the Sea Harrier on a top 5 list years back, to the exclusion of the F-4 Phantom and the Sukhoi Su-27 Flanker, was the plane's incredible 23:0 air-to-air kill ratio in the hands of Britain's Fleet Air Arm against Argentine Air Force opponents during the 1982 Falklands War, thus playing a key role in the UK's ultimate victory. For the record, 2 Sea Harriers were lost to enemy grind fire. Thus the Sea Harrier is one of only 3 jet fighter aircraft that is unbeaten in air-to-air combat, along with the F-15 Eagle and the aforementioned Su-27. And as I previously argued, in my professional opinion, the Flanker's 6:0 score isn't a big enough statistical sample to merit a top 5 ranking. The Harrier pilots, which launched from the decks of the Royal Navy aircraft carriers HMS Hermes and HMS Invincible, pulled off this remarkable feat whilst tangling with the Argentine's A4 Skyhawk, which was no slouch in the air combat department by any means, as demonstrated by the latter's destruction of Royal Navy and Royal Fleet auxiliary surface ships such as destroyer HMS Coventry, RFA Sir Galahad and HMS Antelope, the latter loss producing arguably the most dramatic photograph from the conflict. Though not to the same extent as the F-14 Tomcat and FA-18 Hornet in the Top Gun film franchise, the Harrier even got its moment in the cinematic sun, thanks to Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 1994 James Cameron action-adventure True Lies. Appropriately, the Harrier warbird in turn takes its name from a flesh and blood bird of prey, namely several species of diurnal hawks belonging to the Circini subfamily and the Circus genus. The first generation of the Harrier jump jets was the Hawker Siddeley Harrier, which made her maiden flight in December 1967 and entered service in April 1969, thus revolutionizing the concept of vertical/short takeoff and landing (V/STOL) capabilities for fixed-wing attack aircraft. The introduction of the British Aerospace Sea Harrier variant, informally known to its crews as the Shark, in particular took place in 1979, and not a moment too soon as the Falklands War broke out a mere 3 years later. Eerily, at the time of the Sea Harrier's introduction, the Fleet Air Arm had actually been completely lacking a fixed-wing fighter.